Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside the Rath Eastlake Community Center, Millbrook First Nations Arena. As we have some U15 major action going on here between the host Truro Bearcats and the visiting Martello Bandits. As you can see by the standings here, Bandits sit in 5th place coming into today, while the Bearcats in 9th. You can kind of see different groups of tiers coming up here in the U15 league. The bottom 3. And I'd say the mid 5 or 4, and then the top 3 and 4 are starting to stand out in the standings as we approach the Christmas break. Happy you can join us for this one as we're underway here from Truro. There's an opening chance for the Bearcats. A center pass to McDonald, and an early save from Jerome Doucette. A quick test as the Bandits kind of falling asleep there in the early goings. As Bearcats have full possession right now. Here is McDonald, the leading scorer for the Bearcats, and he has another one here early. And it's Truro who opened the scoring just 24 seconds into the game. The captain, Lincoln McDonald, takes the pass from Holman. Makes no mistake. The Bearcats came to play here today. It's 1-0. 24 seconds in. As Lincoln McDonald, the captain, number 91, the Bearcats' leading scorer, finds the 5-hole on Doucette. And we have ourselves a 1-0 game here very early into this one. As Bandits looking to respond, up the wall, finds Enzo Chandler. But he couldn't enter the zone cleanly as Webb is tangled up with Maddox Burke. Comes free. Bandits forced to regroup. It's going to be played all the way back from McLean. Here is Nathan McLean out of his own corner. D to D. Finds the stick of Chandler, who came back to support his D. Bandits looking to clear. Played up the wall. Hits a stick. It's going to be poked out the zone. Here come the Bandits now. 2-on-2 developing perhaps, but it's going to be sticked away by Lex McKenzie, number 11, the veteran Bearcats defenseman, as well recollects. McKenzie goes D to D. Over to McCachran. As pass to the middle for Scott will be out of his reach. It's Miller on the forward check. Here is Braxton Robertson. Up the wall. Goes off the ski to Smith. He's free for the Bearcats. Here comes Truro. They're up 1-0 here early. As O'Coin has the puck now for the Bandits. They'll look to take it wide. O'Coin gets sticked away by Lockyer, another veteran defenseman on this Bearcat squad. Lockyer having a heck of a season for Truro. As it's going to be chipped up the wall. 2-1 developing here. Pass in front, just out of the reach of the intended recipient. That was Hudson Miller, number 19. He'll play on. Sent back into the Bandit zone. Comes free. Here is Frizzle's shot on goal, and that'll be the glove save for Jerome Doucette. As I had this graphic prepared, but Lincoln McDonald just scored his 9th goal this season. So it says 8-3-11 there, but he just made it 9-3-11 for 12 points. As you can see, he's at the top of his team for points so far this season. Puck is dropped. Here's McNutt. Shot tipped in front by the aforementioned McDonald, who's looking for 2 goals here in the early goings. A shot from the point's going to be stopped by Doucette. So number 91 in red, a force to be reckoned with all season long, and he's having a heck of a start as he's back on defense in the back check. We'll find McNutt. McNutt passing him in, intercepted by Young for the Bandits as they look to go the other way. So send it in deep. Out to play it is starting goaltender for the Bearcats. This is going to be played towards the opposite wall, out of the reach of Ripley, who will go in on the forward check. Bandits have possession, passing him in off of skates, comes free for Michaud off the bench. It's Michaud. Andrew Michaud gets hit into the wall, but like to play over his defense partner. That is Ace Wadden. Played up the wall, Ripley looking for it. It's hit on the boards right in front of the Bearcats bench, frees up the puck. Here's McLean. McLean will make a few moves as enters the zone. Takes it wide. McLean centering pass just out of the reach of Maddox Burke, who was looking to add to his team lead in points. It's 2-on-1 developing here. Here is Scott with Stanfield. Pass in front, but Stanfield was all tangled up from the Bedford back check. As Hayes will collect, find his own net. We're going to clear the Bandits. As Marshall Hayes goes D to D. Played up the wall. Pass across the ice, finds the stick of Jackson Camus. Watch out here, Camus on the backhand! And a save made! This game will remain 1-0 as Jackson Camus, the Bandits' top scorer, was all alone, but Blake Butcher, the starting goaltender for Truro, made the breakaway save to make things still 1-0. Shots are 3-1 in favor of the Bearcats, according to the statistician, of course. We never know if those numbers are accurate or not. But we do know there's 11:47 to go in the opening frame. Bearcats scored on the first shift of the game. If you missed it, you might have, because it was very quick. And they lead 1-0. It was Lincoln McDonald, the captain, who scored the goal off a great feed from Mason Holman. Those two dominated that first shift as Bandits looking to tie the game up. That's going to be cleared out by Stanfield for the Bearcats. Bandits have it. Here is Ayot, who will go back across for Camus, who will collect in his own zone. Camus has Miller on the forecheck. Played in behind the net for Robertson. Robertson will cycle it back for his D-man. That is Lebucky, but kept in by Miller. He's in on the forecheck. As Clow looking to get the puck inside the Bandit zone is intercepted. Was that pass, so Lebucky will circle back in his own zone. Lebucky was looking for Robertson, but he was ahead of the play. Couldn't go back to accept the pass. Robertson will collect in neutral ice. Here comes Braxton Robertson. Played over across for Camus. Shot into the glove. There was no rebound from Blake Butcher, number 37. Take a look at the point leaders for the Bandits now. These stats are correct. They haven't scored yet. Jackson Camus, number 22, who just shot that puck. He has 21 points, while Maddoxburg not far behind. They got their three top guys. They're going to kind of drops off after that. So a top-heavy Bandit squad this year. They're used to having lots of depth, as they have a lot of people who live in Bedford now, but they are having an off year from their standards in terms of productivity. And I'm sure as soon as I say that, I will jinx them and they'll go on a run and win provincials. But for right now, they're not performing as they usually do. As here's Chandler up for Cameron. Cameron's one of those top three guys. He'll enter the zone. Cameron will shoot one out the rush. It's going to be blocked and slowly trickle its way past Butcher. As Birkin on the forecheck, him and Cameron out there together for this shift for the Bandits. Looking to tie the game. Here is Cameron behind the net. Cameron pass in front, tipped just wide by Enzo Chandler. It's going to be picked up. As here's Holman. Looking for Ripley, but he got his stick tangled up as he'll go for a change. McLean will take over for the Bandits. Makes him move in his own blue line as he'll go up the wall. Puck bouncing over Lockyer, but there to collect it is McNutt. Bo McNutt gets shoved with the puck on the forecheck by Chandler. Comes free for Burke. Maddoxburg has it behind the net looking for an option. Saucer pass in front looking for Chandler, but that's going to be intercepted by the Bearcats and a hit after the play. As puck comes free and neutral ice. Robertson last man back for the Bandits, the Martello Wealth Bandits. I should mention their sponsor. Comes free for Scott for the Bearcats inside their own zone. The 9:45 to go in the opening frame. Bearcats up 1-0 off an early goal from Captain Lincoln McDonald. So that's going to be sent into the zone and an offside at the line. So another look at the standings here, as I mentioned at the top of the show, if you missed it. Bearcats sitting at 11 points. 3 points for a win in regulation in this league, I remind you. Bandits have a chance to tie the Rangers if they get a win here on the road. The tiers of this league, of course, I mentioned as well, starting to develop as we get closer to Christmas time. The top guys, the undefeated Gulls, the Bandits, and the Novas. While the Rangers are kind of in that conversation too. They've been playing some better hockey of late. As here come the Bearcats. It's going to be poked into the zone. As Robertson will take over for the Bandits. So quickly turned over. Bearcats have it. Pass in front, and they score! Once again, the Bearcats, they double up their lead. That was poked home by Jacob Clow. Hudson Miller, number 19, had the goal. Clow had the assist, I believe. Turnover from behind the net led to the goal, and pretty much a carbon copy of their first one. A pass from behind the goal line to the man wide open in the slot. Same story for both goals. And it's 2-0 here. Bandits down a pair of goals to a team you'd think they wouldn't be struggling with based off the standings, but that's why you play the games. As Lebucky will go up the wall for Young. Young through the middle for Cameron. They need to get him going here in this game if they want a chance to tie this up. But that's going to be sent in deep. McKenzie will go up the wall for McDonald. McDonald will try and poke out the zone, but in came a pinching McNutt. Or Harris, rather. Levi Harris, number 6. Wrong team I was looking at. My apologies, folks. That's going to be sent down the ice. That'll be another icing call against the Bearcats. 8:37 to go. 2-0 for Truro. They're playing a good game here on home ice. A beautiful facility here at the Rath Eastlink Community Center. It's always a treat to be able to cover games in this arena. The Millbrook First Nations Arena, that being. As Schlender in for the face-off inside the offensive zone. Bearcats couldn't clear off that icing, so a good chance for the Bandits to take advantage, but McDonald will send it in deep so his teammates can change. Have to play this do set, do a little backhand up the boards. It's going to be picked up by the Bandits in their own zone as McLean, TDD pass, finds Hayes. Here's Marshall Hayes to the middle of the ice, has the puck, will shoot on off the pad of Blake Butcher, the rookie goaltender. That's going to be played up ahead. Just out of the reach of Stanfield, which is what they call the airport here, 30 minutes from this rink. Not sure if he's named after the guy who was named after the airport. As we play up the wall, Scott has it, plays over across for Webb. Here's Keegan Webb. Webb in front for Scott, but he was tangled up on the back check once again by the Bandits, who have been doing a great job of getting back on the back check, but once they get into their zone, they can't seem to defend that well. In this game, at least. It's going to be turned over. There's a pass behind the net for Scott. Scott looking for the man in front. They'd find him as Stanfield was all tangled up. And once again, that behind the net to the slot pass has been working for Truro so far. As here's Camus the other way. Here Jackson Camus once again creeping his way down Main Street with number 22 in white. And just like the first time he got loose, Butcher makes the save. As here's Burke, who's out there with Camus for this shift, and Cameron. So they're really looking to get some offense going as Camus will have to tag up on side as well as the bench. Bearcats looking to clear. It's going to be hopping neutral ice. It'll make its way all the way down past the feet of Harris, who will be the first man back. He finds Robertson. Robertson up for Cameron. One-touch pass. Here comes Maddox Burke. Burke has the puck for the Bandits. Will weave his way through. Drops it off for Chandler. Backhand shot stop made by Butcher. Rebound collected by Chandler as he has the puck in the offensive zone. Played in deep. Puck is bouncing from McKenzie, who'll go up the wall. Kept in by Harris. Harris will play it around back in deep inside the Bearcat zone. There's 6.5 minutes to go. As pass will escape the zone, sent in deep as Clow on the forecheck, but goaltender Doucette to play up the wall. Picked up. Here is Enzo Chandler. Makes a move by the defender. Chandler up for Cameron. Enters the zone. Might have been offside, so he wasn't sure if he should touch it or not. He gets it back. Escaped his stick. Here is Cameron. Over to Camus. Is right back out there in the double shift. Camus will make his way down the wall and shoot one up high. Tip just wide by Chandler. As there's 6 minutes to go now in the frame. Here's McLean. McLean will drag and shoot one towards the goal. Rebounds there off the tip, but stop made from Butcher once again. Truro looking to clear, and they will. Here is Clow. Jacob Clow might have a step to the goal. Clow makes a move, but he can't get by the captain. That being Nathan McLean. Number 21 for the Bandits. Here is Frizzle. Plays it up top for Lockyer. Lockyer will drag and shoot one on net. Stop made by Doucette. Rebound sent just wide of the blue paint. And that would have been 3-0. That would have been a very big stranglehold for Truro here early, but we'll play on here at 2-0. Here is Camus. Camus plays it back for Marshall Hayes. Gets a return pass from the blue line. Camus will scan the zone, finds O'Coin. O'Coin will shoot one off the rush, and that's going to be stopped with the glove by Butcher, who's seeing the puck well today. Makes a save for no rebound. And that will freeze play with 5:26 to go in the opening frame. You're tuned into High Button Sports. My name is Mason Zdenek on the call. As they'll drop the puck to the glove side of the goaltender in just a moment. Another double shift for the Bandits' top guys as they'll lose the draw, but kept into the zone. There is Cameron over to O'Coin, who just missed the pass. So Burke not out there, just Cameron. That's going to be sent out the zone. Last man back is Levi Harris. He'll shoulder check as he has the top score for the Bearcats on him. Played up the wall. Kept in by Ripley, sends it back in behind the net. McDonald couldn't get to the puck as he was tangled up. Holman finds it, sends it back from McDonald. Here is Lincoln McDonald. Behind the goal line. Pass for Holman, who's looking to return the favor. That's going to be sent the other way. Here is O'Coin. O'Coin makes a move on the backhand. O'Coin just gets to get the puck in the back check. As puck comes free behind the net, but cleared away. Play to the point. As Bandits shot tipped just wide of the net. That will go over the cage of Butcher. As players tangle up. Penalty coming up here. That'll be our first one of the game. As here is Burke out of the corner. Shot stop made from Butcher once again. As the Bearcats will touch up, and that's going to be a holding call against Truro, who are off and running here with a great start, but the head of the box, Andrew Michaud, number 8, will be the guilty party on that infraction. 4:29 to go. First power play of the game is awarded to Bedford. They're here on the road. They're down by a pair. 4.5 to go. It's Burke, Camus, Cameron all out there for this power play. Puck is dropped. One to the corner. As Schlender will play it up the wall. Here is Burke. Maddox Burke. Up top for Cameron. He's playing defense for the power play. He'll return for Burke. Burke has a lane to the goal. He'll shoot one low looking for the tip from Camus, but he was all tangled up in front. Here's Robertson. Up for Cameron. LeBucky has it. Over to Burke. Burke will drag and shoot one. Sticked away. And that's a broken twig, but McKenzie's got to throw it away. Or else it would have been a illegal use of equipment penalty. Here's Camus. So no Cameron on this power play. I apologize. I thought number 16 was him, but it's not him. It's LeBucky. Let's let a shot go. That's going to be stopped by Butcher. So they don't have the top 3 scorers on the power play together. They like to spread the offense for the man advantage, it looks like. And that will freeze play off that save. So 1:24 to go on the penalty to Andrew Michaud. They'll drop the puck inside the Bandits offensive zone. They have it on the power play. Here's LeBucky again. LeBucky shot through the screen, and once again, Butcher with the glove makes a save. You can tell when the goaltender's feeling it, and right now, number 37 in red has that kind of mojo to him right now, that aura, if you will. You just feel comfortable with him in the net right now in the early goings. He has 6 saves, or 9 saves rather, my apologies. As puck is dropped. Bandits still in the power play. Here is Robertson over to LeBucky. LeBucky back to Robertson. Robertson will shoot one on. Stop, may rebound, will be cleared to the corner. Here's Camus, wraparound chance as Schlender couldn't finish the job off the pass as he was tangled up in front. LeBucky finds Camus. Back to LeBucky up top. LeBucky has the puck in the middle of the blue line. He'll sauce over to Robertson, who couldn't handle the pass. Comes free and a chance to clear. And they will just be able to hold the line. Played over to LeBucky. LeBucky will circle in the blue line. Holds on to the puck up top. LeBucky makes a few moves. Will shoot one on. Stop made off the deflection from Blake Butcher. As here is Robertson once again. They've been out there for this whole power play, the same unit. LeBucky has it up top. LeBucky will make a few moves as he'll pivot to the middle, looking for Schlender in the bumper position. That's going to be intercepted and cleared down the ice. Chance here, the Bearcats to clear. As Doucette forced to cover up as McDonald was the first man back. And he'll freeze play, the goaltender for the Bandits. So second unit goes out there with Cameron for this back half of the power play. There's 24 seconds to go in the man advantage. Ripley and Clow, the 2 forwards out there in the offensive zone, shorthanded. McKenzie and Wadden out there on D for Truro. As here's Cameron. Cameron gets sticked off the puck, gets it back as he'll get shoved in the slot, looking to find the puck, but that's going to be intercepted and cleared down the ice. So Cameron seems to be the guy on this power play unit for the Bandits. As Hayes will be forced to circle back behind the net. Looking for Enzo Chandler. Puck is bouncing. Finds Cameron. Cameron drops it down low for the Cats and McLean. Back for Cameron. We're back to 5-on-5. So Bearcats kill off the opening penalty of the game. 2:20 to go in the first period as Butcher will play behind the net. It's going to be turned over. Puck comes free, but Ripley able to make the play. As Frizzle can handle the pass. It's going to be kept in by a skin of the teeth by number 12, Marshall Hayes. His rebound played to the corner. Up the wall, Bearcats in the clear. Miller and Clow looking for the puck as Clow will take over. Off the glass will be kept in by McLean. As penalty coming up here. And this time, it'll be the Bandits heading to the box. As Nathan McLean, he was trying to make the play at the blue line to keep the puck inside the zone. He was using his feet to deflect the puck, but he ended up tripping the Bearcat. So with 1:52 to go in the first period, the Bearcats, who are up 2 goals, were the power play. As Lockyer, Merriweather, Ripley, Holman, and McDonald's will be the headliners for this man advantage. Holman and McDonald connected for the first goal of the game in the opening seconds. As here is Merriweather off the face-off win. Play to the wall, gets the return pass. Merriweather across for Lockyer. Expect Lockyer to be the quarterback of this power play. He finds Merriweather. Back for Lockyer up top, who has some space, so he's walking and shooting off the stick the goaltender do set. Chance for the Bandits to clear. They can't do so. Kept in by Holman. Holman has it on the net. Burke, as Harris has the puck now. Levi Harris has a chance to clear, and he will do so. Second-year rookie, I should say. Played last year, U15 AA was Levi Harris. I used to work for his stepmom. His penalty coming up here. Interference is the signal. Looks like that will be a penalty against Braxton Robertson. So a 5-on-3 for Truro, an extended 5-on-3. 1:22 to go in the original penalty. So a great chance for the Bearcats to extend their lead. Same unit stays out there. But no, sorry, Clow replaces Merriweather on the point. So they got 4 forwards out there as Clow will collect the puck on the blue line as DD passes off the skate of Cameron. So forced to circle back is Seth Lockyer. The veteran Bearcats defenseman will weave his way through the neutral ice. Lockyer enters the zone, has it behind the net. 5-on-3 for the next minute and 4 as we're in the last minute of play in the first period. Here is McDonald. Over to Lockyer. Back for McDonald up top. Again, McDonald. Back for Lockyer. Has a lane. He'll shoot one and he scores! Seth Lockyer snipes one over the shoulder. A new set. And the Bearcats are up by 3 goals here on home ice in the opening frame. Beautiful passing between McDonald and Lockyer leads to the goal. And the Bandits find themselves in a 3-0 hole with 45 seconds to go in the first period. So a great start if you're Truro and a bad one if you're Bedford. Puck is dropped. Sent right back down as Hayes as the Bearcats are still in the power play. Lockyer's still out there for this man advantage. As he just scored the goal, here is Scott. Cross-ice pass, going to be picked up by Clow. Clow has the puck. Back for Scott, who makes a move on the wall, looking to get by the defense of the Bearcats, or Smith rather, for the Bandits. As here is Lockyer again. Shot blocked this time by Schlender. Play up top for Clow. Clow over cross, finds Lockyer, who had the same lane he had for that first goal, but he holds on to it instead. Lockyer up for Scott, 10 seconds to go in the period. Lockyer has it in the corner. Seth Lockyer as he gets hit on the wall. That'll free up the puck. And with 3 seconds to go, one last chance for the Bandits, and that's going to do it. So a great opening frame. 3-0's your score for the Bearcats here on home ice. Bearcats did not have the most shots. It was 13-9 in front of Bedford. So you got to credit their goaltender, Mr. Blake Butcher. We'll take a quick break here for the very brief intermission. You're tuned to High Button Sports live in Truro. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Truro. 3-0 lead for the Bearcats. They're still in the power play to start the frame. As it was Lincoln McDonald had the opening goal off a great feed from Mason Holman, and then Hudson Miller, pretty much a carbon copy of the first goal, passing behind the net to the man in the slot. And then just moments ago, Seth Lockyer ripped one from the top of the circle on the power play. And that's our story here so far. So the Bandits took 2 penalties in that frame, which led to the 5-on-3 goal. They're still down a man for 30 seconds. Bearcats having the power play in their own end. Tied up ahead for Webb, who will go off the skate. That's going to be intercepted by Young, who will play it back to the goaltender Butcher, who had a perfect opening frame, 12 for 12. And he is up 3-0 with some little bit of run support from his team, which has not come consistently for Truro this season. They're playing some great hockey right now here at home. They are a pretty good team at the Rath Eastland Community Center this season. As here is Webb looking to poke it back into the zone, as Michaud will find it and send it in deep. Deuce head out to play it, and he'll cover it up as he had Webb right in there in the forecheck as the penalty expired. So back to 5-on-5. Bandits get the 5-on-3 goal, but they couldn't capitalize while they were still in the man advantage. But still, they're in a pretty good spot right now as McDonald will head back out there with Holman for this ozone draw. McDonald against Burke, two heavy hitters in this league going out on the face-off draw. One back by Burke is Hayes looking for Levi Harris. It's going to be intercepted and nearly another carbon copy of the first two goals, but this time it'll go the other way. Here's Camus, hasn't landed in the net. Camus, forehand stop made by Butcher as Camus using his speed. Once again, he's got some good boots on him, number 22. Here's Burke, will drag and shoot one, just goes past the top shelf as Camus and Burke out there together with Schlender. So a little bit of a mixed bag for lines for the Bandits, as here is Burke's shot from distance. Will be stopped by Butcher, and there'll be no rebound from number 37. So after that disappointing opening frame, looks like the Bandits bench mixing up their lines. I haven't seen much consistency as they'll keep Burke and Camus out there together with Schlender. Lebucky and Robertson on the face-off on D. It's going to be one back for Lebucky. He'll poke it into the zone. Here's Burke now. Backhand pass towards the net. Might have been a pass, might have been a shot. Either way, it ended up on goal, and it was stopped by Butcher. Ayotte in for the draw. Puck is one back. Played up ahead. Frizzle has the puck. Enters the zone. Has Clout with him and Miller. Play to the corner, but intercepted. Here is Merriweather up top. Merriweather will shoot through the screen. It's a stick on the way through. As Lebucky and Clout tangled up behind the net. Comes free. Here's Robertson looking for Young. It'll go off his stick, and Merriweather there to send it right back into the zone. But looks like it hit a stick on the way through, and it was offside. So they slow it down with 18:01 to go. So 2 minutes have come and gone in this middle frame. Bearcats scored all three of their goals, of course, in the first period. The first goal came in the opening seconds of the game, 26 seconds, I believe. Lincoln McDonald had that one. As Bandits from the draw and neutral ice, here is Lebucky. Will spin in front of his own net. Lebucky up the wall for O'Hearn, intercepted by Scott. Scott plays it back for Webb, but it's going to be whistled down as maybe the bench door came open. I'm not sure what the whistle was for that. Might have hit a glove on one of the benches. The angle we have up here in the booth at this Millbrook First Nation Arena is you got to really peek your head over to see all the details of the game. It's a great facility. It's just the way I'm standing right here, I can't really see directly below me, which is the benches for both teams. So if I miss something in that area, my apologies. I'll try and do better. As Bearcats have it, here is Stanfield up for Locke here, who's playing in the rush here. The defenseman pinching in as he'll look for the puck in the corner. Beats two Bearcats, or Bandits to the puck. Drops it off. Here's Scott. Pass in front looking for Stanfield, intercepted. As here's the Cats and McLean. Plays it up ahead. As here is O'Coin, who will pass in front, looking for McLean, who was shooting towards the goal on the return feed. As Smith will keep it inside the zone. Lockyer has it in the corner, leaves it for Scott. Scott looking to go up the wall for Stanfield. As he'll collect. Played back for Scott. Looking for Webb up ahead, but it's going to be intercepted. On the back check by McLean. Comes free for Scott, who will get poked off the puck by Hayes, who will lead the rush for Bedford. Marshall Hayes takes it wide towards the goal. Pass in front. Just goes wide to the intended recipient, number 13, Enzo Chandler, the rookie. So here's Lebucky up for Chandler, who couldn't handle the pass off the wall. But he recollects the puck. Drops it off for Cameron. Cameron makes a move to the middle of the ice. Another move as he's looking to split all four defenders on the ice for the Bearcats. Comes free for McDonald, neutral ice. McDonald up for Holman. These two have been connecting all day long as return feed is intercepted by Burke. And watch out, he might have a step. Burke, one-on-one, will make a move, but he can't get by. And Lex McKenzie, number 11 for Truro. McDonald looking to clear. That'll escape the zone. McDonald might have a step, and he does. McDonald makes a move. Puck bouncing. Couldn't get the play towards the goal as pass up the wall. Send to the corner. Harris will collect and go up the boards looking for Cameron. Puck bouncing in his skates as Burke couldn't find it cleanly. It's going to be sent back towards the Bandit zone. Intercepted at neutral ice, but picked off once again as Cameron couldn't find it in his feet. Puck bouncing for Burke, looking to poke it ahead. As Cameron tangled up, finds Burke, but he couldn't handle the pass cleanly. As McNutt has the puck in front of his own goal, nearly stripped by Burke, but able to make the play. As cross-ice pass looking for McDonald will find the captain. McDonald will be intercepted by Maddox Burke. Here is Burke, number 9, one to the zone, makes a move. Burke looking to split the defense, but McNutt with a good stick as Burke showing a little frustration there after the play. Looking to clear the Bearcats, intercepted by Ayotte. As he'll circle back in his neutral ice. Ayotte still has the puck. It's stripped, and that'll be sent the other way. As McDonald has a step. Here is looking McDonald, makes a move. McDonald on the backhand. Will throw it towards the goal. Puck is there. That's going to be covered up as Hayes will lodge it into the pad of his goaltender. Centering pass to McDonald hit a skate of a Bedford defender, and it made for a pretty close scoring chance, but that one stays out. So still 3-0. Shots are 16-10 in favor of the visiting Bandits, but it's the Bearcats at home who have the lead, 3-0. Puck is dropped. One back by the Bearcats, but quickly intercepted by Ayotte as he'll poke it up the head. As Camus looking for another breakaway as he couldn't clearly get to that puck, but he has it in the corner now. Camus shot, looking to fool the goaltender Butcher, but that is something you can't really do right now. Butcher has been perfect so far. Here is Frizzle. He'll send it in deep. Puck bouncing behind the net. Picked up by Clow, who will wrap it through in front of the net, but it's going to be sticked away. As here comes the Bedford Bandits now, up for Camus, who's been great in this game, in my opinion. Camus will drag and shoot one! Just goes past the glove side, and that will miss wide as puck will be sent the other way. Frizzle looking to get by the defender, but good stick by Braxton Robertson. Here is Frizzle looking for Clow, but it's going to be intercepted. Ayotte will play it up ahead for Young. Young will get the line, but it's going to be offside. As too many men, the signal from the referee, 6 fingers up. Not sure who's going against. Looks like the Bedford Bandits will be penalized. So a bench minor for Bedford. As Young will serve the penalty. Maximus Young. So things going from bad to worse for Bedford here on the road. A bench minor for too many men. So another power play for the Bearcats. They scored on the 5-on-3 in the first period. Let's see what they can do here. Puck is dropped. One back to the point. Here is Lockyer. We'll make the pass over to Scott. Gets the return feed. Lockyer has the most recent goal for Truro. Down low for Webb. That's going to be intercepted and cleared down the ice. Out to play is goaltender Butcher. He finds Lockyer. Lockyer will chip it up ahead. Lockyer will hit the linesman unintentionally as Scott will find it. Plays it over for Lockyer. Over to McDonald. Here is Lincoln McDonald. He'll make a few moves as he enters his zone. McDonald will shield the puck with his body against Harris. McDonald up top for Scott. Scott over to Lockyer. Lockyer will shoot one, tip just wide. Rebound's there and sent across the crease as Webb was all alone on the doorstep. He had a great look at the back of the net, but he couldn't find it. Here's McDonald. Shot off the pad. Rebound is there in the blue paint. That's going to be covered up by Doucette. Some more good looks on this Bearcats man advantage, but this time Doucette standing tall, keeping things 3-0. So the Bearcats, as I mentioned a few times, having a great game here so far. They're considered to be in that lower to mid-tier in the standings right now, but they're playing like a top team in the league. As here is Michaud. Michaud will send it in deep. It's going to be picked up by Holman. So he'll find Frizzle in the half wall. Frizzle, the rookie, looks for a lane. Plays it up top. Michaud has it. Back for Frizzle, who has a step to the net, but he plays it down low instead, which is intercepted. Bandits have it. Here is Cameron shorthanded. Cameron to the goal. Will shoot one on. Stop made by Butcher. Once again, Blake Butcher His 17th save of the game so far. Still 3-0 here in Truro. All 12 U15 Major Nova Scotia teams in action today. There's 10 in action as the Cougars and the Rage are the two teams off this weekend. They were supposed to play this weekend in Cape Breton, in northern Sydney, but they mixed up the ice times, so they are both out of action this weekend. We'll call it a bye week as Michaud has the puck. Played up the wall, but intercepted by Ayotte, shorthanded. Ayotte will shoot one blocked in front. Comes free up top. Here's Robertson. Shot scores! McLean! Shorthanded goal. Finds a corner. Bandits have their first goal. Nathan McLean, the captain. Off the funny hop. Puck made its way up to the point, and number 21 in white was right there, and he was ready for the shot, and he unleashed one over the blocker of Butcher. Off the crossbar and down south. They call it bar down. And a shorthanded goal for Bedford gives them life here in the second period. Here's McCackern. Played over cross. Up the wall, McDonald will play with his skate to stick. Lincoln McDonald enters his zone, still has the puck. McDonald plays at the corner. We're back to 5-on-5. Nice pass in front for Scott. Can handle it cleanly. Forced to circle back. Scott drops it off at the point for McKenzie. Over to McCackern. McCackern will shoot it down low. Hits his skate and goes wide. As the most recent goal scorer, McLean makes a move in the corner. As we'll start the rush for Bedford. Pass across. Finds Enzo Chandler. There is Chandler. Makes a move wide. Has the puck as he gets tangled up with McCackern. Puck played up the wall. McDonald has it once again. He's getting plenty of looks here for Truro. McDonald up top. Finds Scott. Scott back from McDonald. Pass in front. Tipped on goal. Just wide as Miller couldn't get a stick on that one. Lebucky will take over as his pass for Ayotte will be dumped in. Played behind the net. Camus in the forecheck frees up the puck. Here is Jackson Camus. Played it to the opposite wall, but Stanfield there to intercept, but kept in by Burke, and then the forecheck who gets taken down by Bowen McNutt as Harris finds it in neutral ice. Played over cross for the Bucky. Centering pass for Camus. He'll chip it off the boards to himself. There's Camus. Draw pass for Burke, but he's going to be offside. That will stop play. Approaching the halfway point. Of the second period. Still, or it is now 3-1, I should say, as a recent goal from the Bandits made it a 2-goal lead for Truro. Puck is dropped. One ahead by the Bandits as Camus was tangled up, couldn't accept the pass. Been saying that a lot today as Bearcats seem to be lifting a lot of sticks as pass in front for Stanfield from Webb is intercepted. Here is Scott looking forward in the forecheck. Schlender and him battle. Puck comes free. Hayes up for Burke, who makes a move by the defender. Burke pokes it ahead. 3-on-1 for the Bandits. Burke, Camus, and Robertson. Burke will hold on to it and shoot one. Stop made by Butcher on the 3-on-1. As Burke had a few passing options, but he elected to shoot instead. As puck comes free in the circle. Schlender looking to clear. Intercepted by Stanfield. Stanfield, 2-on-2 developing here for Truro. Stanfield will send it in deep. Gets hit after the fact by McLean. Or that was Robertson, rather. Here is Webb. Played through the middle, but intercepted by Camus once again. Camus over to Burke, who looks to take it wide, and he will. Here is Burke, puts the brakes on, looking for Camus, the trailer. Backhand stop made! That's a beautiful setup from Burke to Camus, but even better save from Butcher. Keeps things 3-1, as here is Clow. Clow will shoot one out the rush, block it away by Doucette. Puck comes free in the corner. Miller, as he gets hit in the wall. Another hit behind the net from McLean this time, taking down his man, which is Clow. Puck comes free for Miller behind the net. Miller finds Frizzle. Frizzle will get hit off the puck by Harris. Comes free from McLean. Nathan McLean, the most recent goal scorer, gets stripped of the puck. Comes free for Clow. We'll find Frizzle. Frizzle backhand sauce for Miller. Pass in front there, and they'll poke it in. Frizzle to Miller. Finished off by Clow. A beautiful passing play off the turnover. And the Bearcats regain their 3-goal lead. Puck came free on the blue line on the wall. And Bearcats, with some great passing, find the back of the net once again. And they will regain their 3-goal lead. 4-1 is your score. As here is Holman. Holman will take it wide. It gets nudged off the puck by Robertson. Gets it right back up top for Michaud. Michaud shot through the screen, deflected just wide. Rebounds there, but tangled up as Holman as Robertson made the play. As here is Young. Maximus Young will pass in front, but once again tangled up going to the net was Drew Cameron. So good back-checking sticks from the Bearcats. They've been playing a great game overall. They're tying up their players on the back check and inside the zone, which has been creating some success for them in this game. Bearcats are a great team. They have a few veteran players who played in the league last year. They're just unable to find that consistency to their game. But right now they're playing very well. As here is McDonald. Cross-ice pass out of the reach of Ripley. As foot race for the puck off the hop of Robertson. Will get there first. Robertson will circle in front of his own net. Finds O'Hearn. O'Hearn up for Young. Young looked to poke it back McKenzie. Young on the forward check. Has it behind the net, but picked off by McDonald, who came back in the back check. McDonald gets tangled up by Cameron this time. Cameron makes a few moves into the zone. Cameron another toe drag, but he couldn't finish the job as Lex McKenzie was there to defend him. Played behind the net. McKenzie will find the puck for Truro, and so send it down the ice, and that will be an icing call against the Bearcats, who can't change right now due to the fact they just iced the puck. 8:06 to go in the middle period. Appreciate you all tuning into this one. I have 43 viewers right now, so I appreciate everyone tuning in. If I'm saying a kid's name wrong, you can always email the company High Button Sports and let us know. Or if you enjoy what we're doing, you can always send a positive feedback as well. Up to you. As McLean will go up the boards. As Bearcats are changing, watch out here. Here is O'Coin with a lane to the net. Shot at the pad. Rebound was collected. As Webb found the puck on the back check. He'll make the play out for Scott. Scott enters his zone. As pass up ahead for Stanfield, intercepted and sent the other way. O'Coin will recollect for Bedford. Cross-ice pass out of the reach of the intended recipient, Smith. Collected and sent back into the Bedford zone. Here's McLean. Nathan McLean has the only Bedford goal in this game so far, as he gets tangled up behind the net from Webb. Comes free for Scott. As they're still battling. This time it's McLean who gets the loose puck. Plays up ahead for O'Coin. O'Coin over to Smith. Smith enters his zone. Will pass in front, but Burke was offside, looking to gain a step on the defender. All right, look at the point leaders for Bedford. Well, they have a chance. Enzo Chandler and Nate O'Coin, two rookies in this league, with 7 points. I believe the Bedford Bandits have played around 11 games or so. So not quite a point per game for them. But as you can see by that graphic, a little bit of a drop-off after the top 3 point getters for Bedford, who are top-heavy this season. As penalty coming up here, and this time it'll be the Bearcats who have the man advantage, tripping the call. So a chance to cut the lead in half for Bedford. Out there for this power play is Camus, Burke, Robertson, Labucky, and Schlender. They'll keep Cameron on the bench for the second unit once again. Puck dropped as Merriweather looking to clear. He finds Lockyer, who will play it all the way down the ice. As Deuce out to play it, up for Labucky. Plays it back. Here is Robertson behind his own net. The assistant captain, second-year D-man, Robertson will lead the rush. Up for Burke, another veteran for the Bandits. Burke weaves his way through. Still has the puck. Will circle back to the top of the zone. Still find Labucky. Over to Robertson. Robertson will shoot one on goal. Blocked in front by Camus unintentionally, as he's feeling the effects of that one, and he'll slowly keep his way into the slot. Actually won't exit the ice. Good for him. Here is Burke. Pass in front. Tipped over the net. That took a funny hop. Here's Robertson on the other side of the zone. Looking for Schlender, but he got tangled up. Finds Camus. Here's Jackson Camus. Up top for Burke. Burke finds Lebucky up top. Lebucky will look for a lane. Passes it off for Robertson. Robertson at the top of the zone. Cross-side speed for Burke. Burke for the bumper of Schlender, but he was tangled up. Comes free again for Robertson. Halfway through this power play are the Bandits. Here's Robertson. Pass on goal, looking for the tip from Camus. That will miss the net. Picked up by Burke, as he'll be forced to circle off the zone, as he has Clow all over him. Watch out, Clow might get loose here, short-handed. Clow, 1-on-2, keeps the play inside the zone. Here's Clow towards the goal. Stop made by Doucette. It's a great effort from Jacob Clow, number 18 for the Bearcats. Short-handed. Here comes Camus. Camus makes a move to the goal. Camus shot, stop made, rebound cleared away. As once again, Jackson Camus showing off his wheels. As here is Scott. Scott will shoot one on goal, block it away. That's going to be intercepted. As shot on goal off the stick of Doucette, who had that fall out of his hands, making the save. Here's Camus now. Camus makes a move out of his own end. Pass in front off the stick of Cameron. And that'll be a nice and call. With 5:01 to go in the second period. Six seconds of power play time remain for Bedford, but they're inside their own zone for this face-off. And for the draw is McDonald against Cameron. Puck one back to the point, or the corner rather. Here's Lebucky over to Robertson, as he's still out there because he was forced to not change because of the icing. As here comes Cameron, shot is just off a shin pad and wide. They're looking to clear, but intercepted. Here's Cameron. Pass in front off a stick, as Cameron will recollect for the second time. Cameron can't get by McNutt. Loose puck, comes free. Here's Young. Pass in front. Shot, stop made. As Chandler had some prime real estate for the one-timer, but he couldn't finish the job. As Butcher at the top of his crease made the save. Here's McDonald the other way. Shot at the pad. Rebound was right there, but Scott couldn't bang it home. Here is McDonald. McDonald has Holman behind the net. Finds him. Pass back from McDonald, who's looking to make the play in front as Ripley let a shot go. Save made by Doucette. So that from behind the net to the slot play has been working for Truro today. As here is Holman. We'll find McCackern, whose shot was blocked on the way through. Picked up by the captain. Here is Young now for Bedford. Young will chip it in deep, as his team will go for a change. McCackern will collect behind his own net. McCackern stretches the pass up for McDonald. Here's Lincoln McDonald. Backhand will looking for the drop pass. Intercepted. Here is Lebucky now. Lebucky will start the rush for Bedford. Plays it into the zone. Lebucky takes it wide. Pass in front. Tipped on goal. Rebound. Sent to the corner by Truro, as Lebucky will recollect and send it right back inside the Truro zone. Bearcats have it. Here is Lockyer. Lockyer gets it back for Frizzle. The rookie will make his way through. Here is Jacob Frizzle. Will drag and shoot one. Just goes out the stick and wide of the goaltender. 3 minutes to go in the second period. Here is Miller. Makes a move out of the corner, as that's going to be out of the zone. Here is Ayotte with O'Coin. Ayotte can't make the move. That'll be sent the other way. Looking to clear is Truro, as Frizzle makes the play. 2-on-1 with Miller. Frizzle will hold on to it and shoot off the pad, looking for the puck off pad pass. They call it the POPP, but Doucette makes a save. Here is Hayes. Will let a slap shot go blocked. Gets his own rebound. Hayes out of the corner, looking to center the puck, but it's going to be intercepted. 2:45 to go in the middle frame. Here is Clow with Frizzle. Clow makes a move, so has the puck in the backhand. Stop made by Doucette. Beautiful move from Jacob Clow, number 18, who's having himself a game, but he couldn't get the puck past the Bandits netminder. 2.5 to go. 4-1 is your score. Truro with a 3-goal lead here on home ice. Scott against Burke for the face-off. Puck dropped. Scrum draw. Comes free for the Bandits inside their own zone. Here is Burke. Has Cameron and Smith out there with him right now. That's going to be offside. All these line changes, or different combinations, I should say, kind of creates a little bit of... They can't really find that chemistry, I guess you should say. They haven't been able to enter the zone cleanly. Smith is out there with Burke and Cameron for this face-off. Bandits have been mixing their lines up here, trying to find something that works. As here is Webb. Has the puck. Webb will chip it in deep. Him and Harris will battle as Webb lays a hit on Harris. Puck in the corner. Play to the top as Webb will send it right back in deep. Harris looking to clear. Gets tangled up with Stanfield behind the net. As Burke there to collect. Burke through the middle. Plays it up ahead. Gets the return pass from Cameron. Right back to Cameron as Cameron takes it wide. Cameron to the corner. Puck comes free for Scott for Truro. Up ahead. Here's Webb. Webb is all alone. Webb, the forehand is he fanned on the shot. Looking to go upstairs on the goaltender on the partial breakaway, but he couldn't get a shot on net. That's going to be played up the wall. Cameron has it in his feet. They're going to make the play as he'll play it up the boards. Slender will find it. Pokes it free for Cameron. As Cameron drops it off for Slender. Slender will pass across for Burke, but he couldn't handle the pass. That was Camus, rather. Here's Jackson Camus. A few moves out of the half wall, but intercepted. Here's Scott. Up for McDonald. Lincoln McDonald will drag and shoot one off the shin pad, and that will go out of play. There's Robertson with the block. With 1:03 to go, that will freeze play in the second period. You're tuning to High Button Sports. Every game in the Nova Scotia U15 Major Hockey League regular season and playoffs will be on this website, highbuttonsports.ca. So if you're a fan of this league, be sure to tune in all season long. 4 more games on the docket for U15 Major today. That's going to be cleared down the ice. Here is Camus. Tangled up. That will be played to the corner. Robertson finds it. Puck comes free for Holman. Puck bouncing. Here's Ripley and Holman 2-on-1. Holman will make a play to the net, but he couldn't get the angle. So we'll circle back to the corner. Intercepted. Here's Camus with 30 seconds to go in the period. Jackson Camus is Lockyer in the back check. Well defended. As hit into the wall. Comes free for Lockyer. Plays it back in the corner. As McNutt looking to clear, and he will do so. Gets past Lebucky. That will slowly make its way into the Bandits zone. Lebucky over to Robertson. Robertson finds Young. Young plays up ahead for Chandler. Over to Burke. Burke will weave his way through and shoot one off the stick of McKenzie. Well defended once again. As Chandler looking to get to the puck. Now it will be cleared down. That's going to do it for the second period. So both teams score a goal in the frame. Bearcats maintain their 3-goal lead that they had after the first. Shots are 25-20 in favor of Bedford, but they're down by 3 goals as part of the intermission. You're tuning to High Button Sports, live from the Rath Eastland Community Center. U15 Major action. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back inside the Rath Eastland Community Center. The hometown Truro Bearcats are up 4-1 over the Bandits. As it was Lincoln McDonald who opened the scoring of this one. And then Hudson Miller made it 2-0 and then 3-0 off a power play bomb from Seth Lockyer. So we're underway here in the third. And then Robertson made it 3-1, and then shortly after, Jacob Clow poked home the rebound. And that's our story here so far, 4-1. Shots are 25-20 in favor of Bedford, but they're down by 3. This here is Holman. Shot will be blocked in front on its way through. Some fresh ice out there for both sides. This is Robertson. Across the ice, out of the reach of Chandler. As Michaud looked to clear, poked up ahead by McNutt. Pass ahead for Ripley. Ripley went to the zone as he gets hit on the back check by Burke. There is O'Coin. Cross-ice feed. As here is Burke. Shot stop made as toe dragging and releasing with number 9 in white. But Butcher, who's had a great game today, has been seeing the puck well. He has that aura to him, as you can often hear from the kids these days. Number 37 in red. As Cameron, O'Hearn, and Young out there on the offensive side against Scott, Webb, and Stanfield, as that'll be played up ahead right off the hop. Here Stanfield will go across the crease. Picked up on that by Young. As played in behind the net. Stanfield gets tangled up with McLean. Puck will be played out the zone. Scott gets there first, as that's going to be a penalty on the play. Head contact is a signal from the referee, so Bandits out of the power play. Let's see how many fingers the referee puts up. 4 minutes, so a double minor to Webb for head contact. So a great opportunity for Bedford to get back in this game. A 4-minute double minor head contact penalty awarded to Webb. Cameron will take the face-off, so the second unit, if you might call it that, will start off the power play. McLean, Hayes, Ayotte, and Cameron alongside Maximus Young. Those are the 5 Bandits out there for this man advantage. One back to the point. Here's Hayes. Over to McLean. The only goal scorer in this game so far for Bedford. Here is Hayes. Over to Cameron. Cameron makes a move by Lockyer. Played the corner. Picked up by Young. Back for Cameron. Pushed towards the goal as a scrum ensues. That's going to be attempted to be cleared, and it will exit the zone. So here is Hayes. He'll circle back. Finds Cameron. Cameron. Over to Ayotte. Ayotte will play it over for McLean. McLean makes a move at the blue line. Over across for Hayes. Hayes back from McLean. McLean will try and chop it towards the middle, but intercepted by Miller, who will send it down the ice. So 45 seconds have gone on this double minor to Webb. Both teams will make changes as the top unit comes out there for Bedford. As McLean will leave it for Robertson. Robertson over to Camus. Camus has been great in this game and all season long for Bedford. The second-year forward has the puck onto the zone. Camus will take it wide. Behind the net now is number 22 in white. Camus looking for a lane. Pass across, finds Burke. Pass in front for Schlender on the tic-tac-toe, but no. That one will just sail wide as Schlender couldn't finish the job. Beautiful one-touch pass there from Burke, who found the wide-open Schlender, but he cannot bang it home as Lincoln McDonald loses the puck on the forward check. Ripley will send it back in deep as Camus takes out of the corner. Finds Robertson. Robertson will lead the rush. Played up ahead, but out of the reach of LeBucky. That's going to be sent right back down on McKenzie as a hit after the play by LeBucky on McKenzie. It's Holman first in the puck behind the net. Looking to eat some minutes on this Bedford power play. Holman. 1-on-2. Robertson will collect from him. As he'll find Burke. Cross-ice feed. Finds Robertson on the return pass. Robertson will enter the zone. Over for Camus. Camus in deep for Burke as he loses the puck Lockyer will collect and look to clear, but kept in by Schlender. But Lockyer gets it right back. Here is Seth Lockyer for Truro. Takes it wide. Lockyer gets bumped by Harris on the back check. Comes free for Lockyer, who will lose the puck for Maddox Burke. There is Burke for Bedford. Played up ahead for Camus. Camus has a step to the goal. Watch out, Camus. Shot stop made. Rebound behind the net. Loose in front. Burke couldn't whack it home as puck was bouncing on him as him and Lockyer will tangle up in front of the net. Played back in deep. Burke will find it. Burke pass in front of Coyne. One-timer. Stop made by Butcher, who's been excellent in this game, as I mentioned a few times. Played to the point. Here is Harris. Levi Harris. Over cross. Finds Burke, who's still out there for this power play. Return pass to Harris. We'll find O'Coin. O'Coin on the half wall looking for a lane. We'll play it for Camus. Camus will take it up top. Camus will play in the circle now. Camus shot up high, looking to catch the goaltender off guard, but Butcher stands his ground. It's going to be covered up in a few shoves after the whistle. That's going to be a penalty on both sides. Lockyer and Schlender out of the box. Big loss there for Truro as Lockyer, one of their best penalty killers on the defensive side of the puck. As Webb had a broken stick in the penalty box, so his teammate just gave him a brand new one to use when he gets out of the box. 48 seconds to go on the penalty, the double minor to Webb. Puck is dropped inside the Bearcat zone. Still 5-on-4 as Funny hop off the face-off. Nearly came free for Chandler, but he was met with the glove of Butcher, who covered things up for the whistle. They'll redo the face-off. McDonald snaps it back from McKenzie. But it's going to be picked off behind the net. Keeping that play alive was O'Hearn. Here's Chandler. Enzo Chandler on the half wall. Hold on to the puck. We'll throw it towards the goal, looking at the tip from Smith, but that's going to be sent just wide. As Chandler will recollect in the half wall on the power play for the next 25 seconds of the Bandits. There's O'Coin up top. Back for Chandler. Chandler nearly lost the puck, but he gets it back. Finds Harris, but nice stick from Scott will free up the puck. Hit on the wall. That's going to be sent up the ice, and McDonald wasn't expecting the pass. As here's Harris. Sent in deep by Smith. Chandler on the forward check, but Michaud gets there first. Played up the boards. That will be kept in. Chance in front. The shot was fanned on by O'Hearn. As we're back to 5-on-5, so Bearcats kill off the double minor. Webb back out there. As here is Smith. Pass in front for Chandler. Puck is loose in the blue paint, but covered up by Blake Butcher. Once again, number 37 comes up big for Truro. The rookie goaltender playing like a seasoned veteran. Young, Cameron, and Ayotte out there for this face-off. Puck is dropped, shot right off the face-off from Cameron. It's going to be stopped by Butcher. Looking to clear is Truro. That will escape the zone. Here is Miller. Miller will chip it in deep. I expect lots of chip and chase here for Truro in this third as they're up by 3 goals. And it's been working for them all game long. It's just Clow. It's going to be sent in deep. Back to retrieve it is Hayes. Marshall Hayes has the puck, but nearly turned over. Ayotte pokes it up for Cameron. Here is Drew Cameron, enters the zone, but met there as he entered it, as Frizzle will take over. Frizzle, 2-on-1 with Clow. Frizzle will shoot, just goes wide. Looking for the post and in blocker side shot, as Ayotte will take it the other way. Here's Young, 2-on-1 developing. Young will hold on to it. Oh, off the post. That close was that puck. And that would have made it a 2-goal deficit for Bedford, but they're still down by 3. Puck bouncing. Wadden looking for it. Comes free for Cameron. Cameron shot, blocked. Rebound there. But it's going to be cleared away over the net. Cameron has it. On the forward check. Comes free. Here's Young. Young on the goal line. Pass off the side of the net. Comes free for Cameron. Cameron looking for the wraparound. Is well defended by Truro. Puck stays behind the net. Played up the wall now. As Labucky came pinching in to keep the play inside the zone. Here's Cameron on the goal line. His shot was blocked. He'll collect behind the net. Cameron looking to center the puck. It's going to be off a skate. Here's Ayotte, shot blocked. As that hit the blocker of Butcher. Here is Robertson up top. Finds Lebucky. Lebucky will shoot one low off the power rebound. Save for Ayotte. And another save from Butcher, who came across his crease off the rebound. Butcher put on a clinic here today, as Lebucky will collect it in his own zone. You love to see a good goaltending performance. And we have one here as Clow gets the pass in front, stop made by Doucette, who didn't want to be outdone by the goaltender on the other side. As another shot, this time from Webb, is stopped by Doucette. Here is Robertson now. Robertson will lead the rush for Bedford. Through the middle of the ice, Robertson in the backhand. Makes a move. Up top for Camus, who's back out there. That's going to be intercepted as Webb. One-on-one as Harris came back, but will get shoved to the puck. As it's going to be sent back in deep. Doucette out to play it for Bedford. Leaves it for Harris. 12 minutes to go. Intercepted. Here's Scott. Scott passed in front looking for Webb. It's going to be off the skate of Robertson. As puck poked up to the line, as that's going to escape the zone as it bounced off the stick of McNutt. Here's Webb. Webb over to Merriweather. Merriweather makes a nice escape move past Camus. Still has the puck. Centering pass for Ripley is going to be out of his reach. As here's Harris up for Robertson. Robertson is sent back in the zone by Ripley. Harris back to collect. Harris up the wall, intercepted. Good forecheck by Truro today. So here's Ripley. Ripley gets pinned to the wall. Puck comes free. Here's O'Coin up for Camus. Watch out, Camus looking to split the D, but he couldn't get the puck on his stick all the whole way. As Camus gets it back. A pass in front for Burke. Shot up high, stop made from Butcher once again. Blake Butcher put on a show in Truro today. Still 4-1. Here's Ripley. Centering pass intercepted by Harris. This will lead the rush. Harris will send it in deep. Goes all the way behind the net. Picked up in the offensive zone. Here is Burke. O'Coin has it. O'Coin can't get by the defender. As Holman will take over. Holman. There's a 3-on-2 developing here. Here's Holman. Holding on to it. Pass to the middle. Finds Ripley. Ripley. Shot block. Rebound. Shot is on. Stop made. As that's going to be covered up. As we get to see Kogan McCullough, number 10. I believe this is his first shift of the game. As you can see, number 10 with no name bar out there for Truro. Unless I just didn't see him, but I haven't seen him yet this game. He's getting a shift here in the third. With Holman and Ripley in the offensive zone. Puck dropped. One back for Bedford. Here's Robertson. Up for Ayotte. Ayotte will go cross ice for Young. Young has Cameron with him, finds him. Cameron will shoot one. And once again, Butcher makes a save. And that will go off the stick and out of play. So still 4-1. No goals yet in this third period. We're about halfway through the frame. 10:22 to go. Shots are now 31-23 in favor of Bedford, who can't seem to solve Butcher right now. Puck is dropped. Comes free for Camus. Young looking for it. That's going to be poked off of his stick. Ayotte will collect for Bedford. Ayotte has a step. Will shoot one and he scores! Joseph Ayotte solves Butcher. And the lead is cut in half. As Bedford now trails 4-2. Joseph Ayotte right down Main Street. Goes past the blocker of Butcher. And the Bandits now find themselves down by 2. 10-12 to go in the period. Here is Young. Young will send it into the corner. As Lockyer will collect inside his own zone. Makes a move past the forechecking Young. Up for Miller. That will miss him. Collected by Robertson. Robertson goes across for Hayes. Hayes, but on the forecheck, shoved the puck. Here's Frizzle. Frizzle has the puck behind the net in the offensive zone. Frizzle at the top of the zone now. Here is Jacob Frizzle. Pass the middle, intercepted. Here's Robertson. Robertson will poke the puck up ahead for Bedford. Enters his zone. Robertson, the top of the circle. Pass towards the goal, sent the other way by Lockyer. As Cameron has it down deep. Cameron. Pass in front there, looking for Ayotte for the second goal of the game for him, but he couldn't connect. This is Hayes. Shot from the distance is going to be steered away by Butcher. Cameron finds Young behind the net. Young off the side of the cage. That puck bounced, but sent to the corner as that's going to be played the opposite wall. Merriweather couldn't get to the puck. Comes free for Cameron. Cameron will walk it and shoot on the top of the circle. Puck is there at the rebound. Stop made by Butcher as he makes both saves in tight. Here's Ayotte. Battle in the corner ensues. Ayotte against Lockyer. Puck comes free. It's going to be sent around the wall. It's Frizzle looking to clear, and he will. Puck comes free for Clow. One-on-one. Clow will drag, makes a move. Clow still has it as he nearly had a beauty of a goal there. Couldn't finish it off as I got it right back. Clow back into the corner. Finds Stanfield. Stanfield plays it in deep, looking for the return pass to Clow as he'll get it back. Clow gets pinned to the wall by Schlender. Puck comes free for Webb. Webb up top as he couldn't connect with his man, that being Scott's. Sorry, that's McNutt. As McNutt passes the middle off his stick. Comes free. As hit will free up the puck. And the full check is Wadden. Ace Wadden. Pass in front. Scott looking to return feed, but Webb was just out of his reach. It'll fall down in the corner. Lebucky looking for it. Played up the boards. Finds Smith. Smith looking to poke it out the zone. Good bounce for Bedford. As here they come. 2-on-1. Pass in the middle. Schlender was tangled up by Stanfield. And once again, that back check from the Bearcats effective in this one, preventing some goals. Bandits are a very high-scoring team. They usually have some high-scoring games, as they can't seem to defend the puck well. As here's Scott inside the offensive zone. Scott played up the wall. This is going to be out of the zone as McKenzie was changing. Couldn't get to the blue line in time. McKenzie for Stanfield, but he had that go over his stick. Here is Lebucky now inside his own zone. 7.5 to go in this one. Puck bouncing. Nobody knows where it is. It's finally played for Burke. Maddox Burke on the right side. We'll go to the middle. Burke still has the puck. Burke will fire one on. Stop made rebounds. There in the crease. They whack away. And they score. 1-goal game. Quinn Smith, the beneficiary of a lucky bounce in front. And it's 4-3. A couple quick ones for Bedford. And with 7:09 to go, it is a 1-goal matchup in Truro. Burke against Holman for the face-off. Puck is dropped. One up ahead. As here's Camus. Camus makes a move, looking for Burke. His puck shown on goal as Butcher makes a save. As will freeze play. So Smith from O'Hearn and Burke at 7:09, the time of the marker. The official goal call. Face off. One back as here is McDonald. McDonald towards the goal. Can't get by McLean. Sent the other way as Michaud will clear it back in deep. Deuce head out to play it. Leaves it for Hayes. Hayes makes a move in front of his own net. Up ahead, looking for the stretch pass for Camus. Intercepted. Here's Lockyer. Lockyer shot into the glove of Doucette, who will make no mistake and freeze play. Six and a half to go. It's a 1-goal game. Bearcats led 3-0 and 4-1 at one point, but it's now 4-3. McDonald in for the draw. Out there with Holman and McCulley. Puck is dropped. Played up the boards. Michaud will hold the line and set it on goal, and he scores! Looks like Kogan McCulley has his first goal as a Bearcat. Pretty good goal per shift ratio for number 10. His second shift of the game, and he has a goal off the deflection. The Bearcats are back up top by 2 goals. Good things happen when you go to the net. And that's exactly what Kogan McCulley did there. He gets the tip to go through. And it is now 5-3. So McCulley, 2 shifts in this third period. There's only 2 of the game so far, and he has a goal. The AP having a great start to his career. There's Frizzle. Pass across and intercepted. Here is Schlender. Up ahead, it's going to be off a skate of Frizzle in the back check. Comes free for Smith, looking to send it back in deep, and he will. Here's McCackern. Over to McNutt. McNutt will go through the middle, picked up. Here is Clow. Clow makes a move and will shoot one on goal. Stop made by Doucette, and it'll freeze play with exactly 6 minutes to go. So that's got to be a pretty good feeling for number 10 as he's on the bench right now having a sip of water. Cogan McCulley with the goal to make it 5-3 for Truro. Puck is dropped. Went back for Webb, intercepted. As here comes Cameron. Young might have a step to the goal as he gets a good back check from McKenzie. It's a rebound shot, scores! Cameron gets the goal. And once again, it's a one-goal game. Rebound was played right to the stick of Cameron, who made no mistake. With 5:51 to go. It is once again a one-goal lead for Truro. So a great finish in store here. 5-4 is your score. It's going to be sent in the Bearcat zone. As pass in the front there, intercepted. Ayo looking for, and that's going to be covered up. The bouncing puck made its way in the slot. So Cameron from Young, the announcement from the public address announcer at ice level. So a great third period this turned out to be. It was 4-1 going into this frame, and all of a sudden it's a 5-4 game. Bearcats holding on to a one-goal lead as of right now. A shot off the face-off was blocked. Here's Scott for Truro, play up ahead. As that's going to be no icing. It's back out there on the forecheck is McCulley, earning another shift, earning the trust from his coach. As here is Camus. Jackson Camus makes a move. Here's Camus in the backhand, shot off a stick of Merriweather. That will stay out of the net. Camus recollects. Camus, the top of the zone, has the puck. Camus will shoot one. Oh, he scores! Jackson Camus ties the game. It's 5-5 here in Truro. Camus circled his way around the zone, waited for his spot to open up, and it did. And he found it. Top shelf snipe for number 22. His 12th goal in the year. He maintains his goal per game pace in the regular season as it's 5-5. So 5 minutes to go. Bandits erase a 4-1 deficit as they're looking for more, but it's going to be turned over. Here's McDonald, intercepted. Young has it. Young looking to make a move. Finds Ayotte, will send it in deep. Cameron behind the net, gets tangled up. As here come the Bearcats now. Played up the boards. It's going to be sent down the ice. And with 4.5 to go, it'll be an icing call against the Truro Bearcats, who have lost their mojo here in this game. All of a sudden, it is a 5-5 score. Cameron against Holman for the face-off. Puck is dropped. Played around the wall by McNutt. Here's Cameron. Sends it towards the goal. It's going to be save made by Butcher. Butcher looked unbeatable through 2.5 periods. None of those goals were his fault that just went in, but he was keeping this game in favor of the Bearcats, and they've been able to solve the goaltender now. As Burke and Camus back out there for this ozone draw. One back by Burke, but a little too hard as unable to keep it in the zone was Hayes. This here is Robertson. Robertson, cross-ice feed, picked up on the backhand by Camus, but picked out by McDonald. Here is Lincoln McDonald, will make a move by the defender. Puck played in the corner. McDonald up for Holman. Holman, as Burke gets the interception. Here comes Burke with Camus. Burke up ahead for Camus, but he just passed a little too ahead of him. As Camus drives the net hard, and Holman didn't like that. So 4:03 to go. 5-5 is your score. A great game on hand here in the mid-evening as we approach 6 o'clock local time here in Truro. 5:44 the time of day. Puck is dropped. Looking to clear the Bearcats and sent to the wall. Picked up by Lebucky. Nearly turned over. That's going to be sent on net, but Doucette was sharp and made the save. Clow in for the draw against Drew Cameron. Puck dropped. Play to the corner. Here is O'Hearn. Up for head for Cameron. Drew Cameron through the middle of the ice. Drops it off for Chandler. Goes skate to stick. Pass towards the goal. Just goes wide. Play to the corner. Bearcats looking to clear. 3.5 to go in the third. It's a tie game. Here is Frizzle. Jacob Frizzle, the rookie, will go up the glass in the clear. Picked up by Cameron. Knocked off the puck by Clow. Comes free for Lebucky inside his own zone. Laid over as Harris. Miller will intercept. Comes free for Frizzle. Frizzle looking to clear. Picked up by Lockyer. Lockyer over to McCackern. McCackern will go up the board. That was Michaud, rather. Here's Clow. Clow will backhand one in deep. Intercepted. So here is McLean looking at center of the puck. It's going to go off of Ava Fry, the backup goaltender, on the bench. And that will stop play with 2:58 remaining in regulation. Back out there is McCulley. The AP earning his ice time today. He had the 5th goal for the Bearcats, which at that point was the 2-goal lead, but Bandits have clawed their way all the way back to make it 5-5. They have not led in this game. That's going to be an icing call against Bedford. So they'll drop the puck 200 feet the other way. The score was 3-0 at one point and 4-1 as well in favor of Truro, but they have lost the lead. But they're still in this game. McCulley, Scott, Webb out there for the offensive zone face-off. Burke loses the draw, played back to the point. Shot just goes wide from Lockyer. Here's Michaud. Shot, tip just off the course of the net as Hayes nearly put that into his own cage. We'll play on here with 2.5 to go in the third period. It's a tie game here in Truro. Here's McNabb. Pass in front. It's off the reach of Scott. So here's Michaud. Michaud will send it in deep. McNabb will collect in the corner. Up for Scott. Finds Michaud. This comes free. Scott send it back in deep. It's going to be intercepted, but picked off by Scott. Scott will shoot one on. Stop made. And that nearly squeaked through Doucette, but he's able to corral it inside his equipment. And with 2:03 to go, we are still tied here in Truro. Great finish in store. It's been a great game so far. Holman in for the draw against Cameron. Puck dropped. One ahead by Bedford. Here's Ayotte. Has a goal in this game, as that's going to be sent the other way by Merriweather. McDonald looking for it. He'll poke it to the wall as he takes a hit at the blue line from Cameron. Puck comes free for Bedford. Here's Robertson. Robertson plays it back for Lebucky, who will look to go off the wall. Picked off on McDonald. That'll be played out the zone as McNutt will send it back in deep. Doucette out to play it. Leaves it for Robertson. The veteran defenseman Robertson. Up for Ayotte. He finds Cameron streaking through. 2-on-2 developing here. Cameron will take it wide and shoots one off the rush, off the stick of Merriweather. 1.5 to go in the period. Regulation, that is. Here is McDonald. Lincoln McDonald makes a move by Robertson. Gets tangled up. Pass in front. His rebound was right there for Holman, but he couldn't whack it home. As here is Young the other way for Bedford. 1:10 to go. Young makes a toe drag move. Has the puck at the top of the circle, but on the back check came Holman. He'll collect the puck for Truro. Holman plays it through his crease dangerously as he'll poke it up ahead. Intercepted by Young, who will play the opposite corner. 60 seconds to go in this one. In regulation, looks like we might be heading to overtime. Here's Webb. Webb up for Scott. Here is Scott. He'll make a move as he enters the zone. What's going to be sent the other way. Here comes Burke and Camus. Maddox, Burke takes it wide. Burke to the net. Shot up high. Stop made. And that's a big one from Bookshire. We're still tied. 35 seconds to go. Here comes Truro now. Clow will poke it ahead. Clow still has the puck. Makes a move as he'll throw it on goal. That will slowly trickle its way to the glove of Doucette, who will cover up with 26.9 seconds remaining. No timeout from either side, it looks like. They'll play on. Both coaches have the clipboard in their hands, but timeout is called now, so Truro elects to take their timeout. We'll give you a look at the benches here. So there's 26 seconds to go. I'll give you a recap of the game when we have time. So Lincoln McDonald in the first shift of the game scored the opening marker. Hudson Miller made it 2-0 a few moments later. And then Seth Lockyer with 45 seconds to go in the first period on the power play scored to make it 3-0. And then early, I'd say about halfway through the second period rather, Braxton Robertson made it 3-1. Then Jacob Clow had a 4-1, which was the score going into the third. And then 2 straight goals from Bedford made it 4-3. Kogan McCauley, the AP with no name bar, made it 5-3. And then Drew Cameron and Jackson Camus scored 2 quick ones for Bedford. That's our story here so far. Bandits have not led in this game. It is 5-5. They'll drop the puck. One back for Lockyer. Lockyer's shot touched on the net. It's going to be stopped by Doucette. So, fresh off the timeout. Both teams have who they want out there for the end of this game. Puck is dropped. One back of the point. Here's Lockyer again. Shot. This time it's deflected off the stick of Burke and that will go out of play. High into the seats here. As you can see, a couple of kids looking for that loose puck on the track. 19 seconds on the clock now. McDonald against Burke once again. No changes on either side. As we'll need a new puck. $19.3. Bedford wants all 3 points with a regulation win to move ahead in the standings. Both teams could use those 3 points. That's a little kick out McDonald from the faceoff dot. It looks like they'll keep him in. Referees want to have a clean formation here. So they'll drop the puck. One back for Lockyer. Lockyer looking for a lane. He'll shoot one low. Tipped on goal. Just goes wide. As 12 seconds to go. Looking to clear. Kept in. Pass in front. Here's Klaus spinning and shooting. That's go off the stick of Doucette. As here's Scott from the back end deep. 5 seconds to go. Here's McDonald. Pass in front. Last chance here. And Doucette at the buzzer with the shoulder. Sends this game to overtime. So we'll have 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. And then if there's no winner after that, we'll do a shootout. So both teams are reconvened. We'll take a quick break here. Tune in to High Button Sports, live at the Rath Eastland Community Center. We'll be back for some 3-on-3 overtime in just a few moments. Welcome back inside the Rath Eastland Community Center, Millbrook First Nations Arena. 5-5 your score. Bandits able to come back. They were down 4-1 at one point. McDonald against Burke for the opening face-off. Burke out there with Camus and Robertson. McDonald out there with Scott and Lockyer. 2 forwards and 1 D on each side. It's going to be played to the corner. Scott finds Lockyer. For McDonald. McDonald nearly poked out the puck. Makes a move. McDonald As here on 3-on-3 overtime, possession very important. If McDonald will collect, neutral ice, enters the zone on the right half wall. Pass ahead for Lockyer, it's turned over. Here comes Camus, might have Robertson with him. Camus takes it wide, 2-on-0. Camus shot stop made by Butcher. Will play on. Here comes McDonald. Lincoln McDonald will slow things down, enters the zone. McDonald looking to get past Burke on the back check. Puck comes free on the wall. Pass ahead. Here's Lockyer. Lockyer will drag and shoot one off the blocker of Doucette. 1 minute is gone here in overtime. Here's McDonald behind the net. There's Lockyer in front. Scott up top. We'll find Scott. Scott back for Lockyer, who couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Comes free for Burke. As odd man rush developing here. Burke out there with Camus. That's will slow things down at the end of his shift. Here is Burke. Drops it for Camus. Camus will pass Burke again. Burke on the backhand! Scores! Camus to Burke! Overtime winner! And the Bandits get the win here in Truro. What a beautiful pass and a better finish. Camus to Burke. The two top scores for the Bandits connect there for the winner. 3:42 in overtime. And the Bandits, who did not lead once in regulation, get the win as they confirm the goal. Net was a bit off there, but that would have went in regardless. Bandits are arguing the call. So that's going to do it for our coverage here. Appreciate you tuning in as always. Final score, Bandits 6, Bearcats 5. Bedford gets in at overtime. Burke from Camus. And that's going to do it here. Appreciate you tuning into this one. My name is Mason Dyke with High Button Sports. Have a great Saturday, everybody. A lot of great games on hand to finish off today, but this one is over. So we'll see you